Dale.
¿Querés una empanada?
Sí, cómo no. All right, here we are. I just got out here with this car. My buddy picked this up as an abandoned car, and I'll tell you more about it when he gets over here because I don't remember the year and everything like that. We're gonna see if we can get this running. All right, so right behind me we've got this 1984 BMW E30. What's the last part?
325e.
325e. My buddy picked this up a few years ago. This thing has been sitting in storage, abandoned for over 20 years at least. ¿Verdad? Más que 20 años.
Mucho más.
Mucho más. Way more than 20 años. ¿Cuántos años pensás?
Nah.
30 ya.
Sí, por ahí.
Okay, so about 30 years ago, this car got parked. Older gentleman bought this to work on it with his son. The guy died. The son ended up selling it. And here we are 20 years, 30 years after it's been parked. Hasn't been run since then. Somebody tried to get this started about a year ago, just a hobbyist mechanic, and they thought there might be a fuel issue, so we're gonna look through everything. But the goal is to get this started today, but I think we're gonna need maybe a lot of things to order before it gets running, so it's probably gonna be a 2-day project at least. Let's get digging in. All right, I think my buddy went inside to make an empanada real quick, because he's been a minute, but he said he unlocked it, so let's go ahead and take a look inside. Plastic liner on the door. It smells like old gas. Probably all this hose right here had something to do with gas, if I gotta guess. I'm not sure what that is. There's the bumper, there's the door panels, seats. Nice little car. Guess the window doesn't go up all the way. Oh, it does have a sunroof. I keep hitting my head on that when I walk under here, so I gotta be careful. We just got all the snow cleaned up, so we'll probably just wipe off the hood real gentle and go ahead and pop it. Probably that.
¿Querés que te traiga una madera para sujetarlo?
Sí.
¿O tal vez?
Justo. All right, if you didn't see that, we were just gonna go get a piece of wood to put the hood past, but it just scratched past that. I didn't push it. Vehicle owner did that, so that may be why it's not running. No intake to mass airflow sensor right there. I think they thought it didn't have fuel. Okay, so the battery's in the back. Let's go ahead and start there.
Lo que tiene bueno este auto es que cierra con una... Todas las cosas de este auto cierran como si fuera...
Sí, como
Tenés que escuchar cómo cierran las cuerdas.
el tapón se abrió así, a toque nomás.
Mirá, escuchá. Estará congelado.
Sí.
Pero... Literal,
Sí,
está...
sí, está.
Son todos soft close.
Sí, ajustadito.
¡Wow! Está bien.
Sí.
¿Querés que te saque la nieve acá abajo también? Te la puedo limpiar.
Sí, cómo no. Tal vez hace falta. All right, got a battery tester. Let's see how this battery's holding up. It hasn't been plugged in, so it might not be dead. Probably is though. You don't know if the screen lights up. Dead. I almost brought a different battery with me, but I have a jump box. Okay, so here's what we're looking at now. I'm just gonna eyeball everything over real good, because I notice this right here doesn't have anything connected to it. I don't know what that is. I don't know what anything in here is. Ooh. this just fell on me. But if this is a mass airflow sensor, which it looks like, then it won't run without that tube right there. So, okay, well, windshield washer fluid. Oh, dropped again. Okay, what? Oh, when he goes in, I get hit. All right, we're gonna get a cord to tie this hood up because I keep getting hit. Something right here is pretty broken. It looks like it's a spot welded piece. I'm not sure exactly where that goes, but the hood's not the main worry right now, so I think we just tie a string to this up to there, because every time my buddy climbs in, it's falling on my head. At this point, before I do anything, I want to take out all these spark plugs and just stick an inspection camera in the cylinders, make sure that nothing's wrong there, and then maybe crank it over by hand, make sure it's got fluids and stuff like that. And who knows what kind of shape those are in, so we'll check everything out. Was this got a fan clutch on the front? Nice. That's some intense cooling there. This annoying little thing is in the way, but I don't think I'm gonna try and move it. All right, so I've probably been out for like 20 minutes, just more or less looking stuff over. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these spark plugs now and just check those out. amigo. Sacar las bujías y ver qué onda adentro. Si saca. No sé si es
en lo que te puede ayudar, estoy acá para vos.
Ok.
A la gente le gusta estos autos.
Sí. Ok.
Las bujías no funcionan.
Son viejas. Alright, here's a look at that first cylinder spark plug. Pretty old style, 21mm. You die?
Da para saber qué es lo que comiste.
El colonoscopy.
Sí, salado.
Yeah, alright. Spark plug cylinder. Spark plug cylinder, spark plug hole down to the cylinder. Let's go in. We got cylinder number 1 at top dead center. That's fine. Everything's fine. But I'm not going to be able to see much in there. Because there's the entry there. Cylinder. So, let's go to the next cylinder.
Y eso lo haces
para averiguar que no hay daño adentro, como aceite o coolant. About the same as that other one. All right, same thing here, just to double check everything. We'll turn them over by hand. And then we can go all the way down and look back up, make sure there's no valve damage. I know it's just anecdotal to look at a couple of cylinders, but gives you a good idea that there's nothing crazy going on. All right, let's get a wrench on the front of this and make sure it spins over then. I'll probably try and start it with old oil as long as it doesn't look like there's any water or anything in there. But then we'll do an oil change if we get it started after that. All right. There's only one hose out of place here, and the hose clamp's just down on the other end. That's all I see other than what might be connected to this. Although I don't think it's that big of a deal because it has a cover on it, so that cover's obviously made to keep stuff out of there while nothing's connected to it. So at this point, I think, oh, here's another hose that's not connected to anything. Probably goes to whatever piece of hose tubing goes to that. All right, let's hook this up, and then I'll look at everything else before I try and start it or see what's up. Then we'll test spark and make sure we've got compression, listen for it first and everything like that. Honestly, it looks pretty decent. It doesn't look like there's any water in there. It's not too dark either, so. Alright, now I can try turning it over by hand. So if you can see the lack of space between the main balancer there and the fan, not much space. But the alternator has a bolt on the front right there. It looks like maybe like a 19mm or something. Sometimes the motors are nice and smooth. You can turn them over with just an accessory, so I'm gonna try that. Yeah, that's turning the main pulley even. So we'll just do that. All right, so watch that main pulley, main balancer. Oh no, we're not going to. Now you're on a compression-y. Okay, I'm gonna hook a jump box up to it now and just see if it turns over, and it sounds like it has compression on every cylinder. But I don't expect it to start for a few reasons. So don't get your hopes up. Pulverized leaves. That's crazy. All right, I gotta get the key then. Also, check out this parking brake. I don't know how they're gonna disconnect it or if they know how, but the button's completely missing out of it, so hopefully they know how to do that. Yeah, not too easy to find 1 and 3. You could hit reverse a little easy, I think. What is this? Okay, so at this point I'm gonna go get the key and see what this sounds like, and then I think I'm gonna have my buddy come back out here and crank it. That way I can listen to the injectors. I just want to make sure that the injectors are clicking and it's not something obvious like that. Then we'll put a spark meter on there and make sure we're getting sparks to those spark plugs. Here comes my buddy now. Yeah, okay, I got the key here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this ready and put a jump box on. Alright. Okay. See? Oh. Ahora se levanta pero no sabía. Después sí eso. Sí, enchufando esto, ¿no? Y después okay, so I got this jump box back here already from earlier. I almost fell. 100% charged. This should work a few times and then it'll need to cool down, and then we can try again a few more times. Okay. Sounds like it has compression, except for a little bit of a knocking noise.
¿Sí?
Yeah. Doesn't sound right. El como que está atrás no debería. Honestly, I have no idea what that sound was. At least I videoed it and I can listen to it a few more times. I'm still gonna put a spark tester on there and we'll try and crank it a few more times with my buddy. Maybe while my head's up near the engine and I can see what that is. Hopefully it's like an accessory or something, but it doesn't sound good. Okay, I've got a little inline spark tester there. That should be good enough to help me see if that's sparking. I don't wanna put my hand on there though, but it's not the right size spark tester. As long as I ground it on that plug though, it should be fine. Okay. Sí. Voy a... no sonó bien. Es que quiero escuchar una vez más. Ok. Ok, probalo.
¿Piso acelerador o no?
No. What's that clicking?
Ah,
Estoy pensando nomás.
como del lado izquierdo, ¿no?
Sí. Tal vez es el starter nomás. I think that was the starter clicking, so it might be fine. So that's the fuel pump. There's all that stuff back here. So that's why I smelled all that old gas smell back here, because that's the fuel tank right there. That's old gas. It'll be easy to siphon out though, but that's gonna have to get replaced. Yeah. We'll see that. I'm probably gonna have to get a different kind of spark tester because I didn't see any sparks. That doesn't mean they weren't there, but I just want to be sure. Cover this back up and maybe make a list of a few things we need to find and come back again in a couple days. All right, if this doesn't tell you how old this car is or how long it's been since it's been driven, I just pulled this out of the floorboard. Doesn't have a date on it, but how long has it been since Kroger's/Smith's has used that logo? I remember it when I was a kid. All right, so after that first day, we had a good idea of what all we would need in order to probably get it running the next time. So we were gonna wait at least a week, but I had to wait a few more weeks for my buddy to order the parts. As soon as he got those parts in though, we headed back over and we're gonna get this thing running. At least that's what I hope. All right, we're back. Spring has sprung. It's been a couple of weeks. We ordered some parts. Here's those parts there that hopefully that's all we need in order to get this running. I've been dying to get back and work on this one for a few weeks and get this running. Let's dig into it. So I actually found this in the back, which I didn't see last time. I thought I was gonna have to find this little plastic piece there to connect. The EGR valve. Looks like an EGR hose or something. So luckily we have that, and one of these hose clamps was missing as well. I was planning on just getting a new hose clamp, but if you can see, these are pretty thin, so I was bummed I wasn't gonna have the original one. That was on this one, that was in the back as well, so great news all around. Here's what we're looking at. Old gas. You know what old gas smells like? That's what it smells like in here. So I'm gonna try and get as much of that out as I can. There's also a fuel filter somewhere underneath. So I'll probably have to jack it up at the end and get the fuel filter. But I went ahead and told my buddy to get a new fuel filter as well, and that's right up here. Found a cool marble. Somebody done lost their marbles. First thing I'm gonna get this cleaned up here and get some gas drained out. I've brought a siphon and a gas tank. Oh, that stuff's brown. It's not very full either. I thought it was more full than that. Honestly, after we've already spent a bit of money on this, getting some parts, we're still not sure if this motor is in great shape. So after we've got this hose installed, I'm gonna go ahead and give it some starter fluid and see if she'll fire up.
Okay.
¿La luz prende? Sí, ok.
Dice inspection.
Ok. A ver si se prende. Dale. Yeah.
No puede
Yes.
ser. No puede ser.
Fue el starter fluid, solo. Fue el starter fluid, pero se prendió. Oh, I can't believe it, no lo puedo creer.
Entonces,
Sí, prendió. Son los inyectores, so falta un... All right, so now that we've seen that fire over, we're gonna go ahead and try and install this fuel pump, take a look at this fuel system and make sure that this thing can run by itself. All right, ain't no way I'm gonna be able to do anything about this other than clean it. If you can even just see what's going on in there, it's disgusting. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and pull the tank on this. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, probably an hour it's worth of work if I have to guess. Issue is the ground's super uneven. I'll probably take the tank with me to clean it, and then I've got to figure out how to hook up the new fuel pump because maybe something has to be cut, so I might have to take that with me too. Actually, some pretty terrible ground to be jacking up on right here. That's why I brought my Rhino ramps though, so I can set the tires on that because those have a lot more surface area instead of jack stands. I'm just a little worried about picking it up with the jack not being able to roll, but we'll see what happens. All right, I can't get any closer to this pole. Obviously the jack moves this way when it gets taller, so I can't jack it up anymore because it's getting too close. I don't have it high enough to get a Rhino ramp under it though, so I think I'm gonna try and get it on something, maybe as much Rhino ramp as I can, and then do the other side so it goes that way and then finish. Should have started on the other side though. It wouldn't have been as big of a deal. All right, so here's the fuel tank. It goes from this side over to that side. There's a...
Bueno, no están nuevos, pero están mejor que los otros que... ¡Ah, mi mano! Y encima tengo la mano rota y me queda eso. ¿Quién soldó esto?
Yeah, I don't know. Easy peasy.
Sí, que no le pegaste vos. Claro, lo manda al otro negro a hacer las cosas. Calmate, vos. Me está comandando.
Sí, sí.
¡Funcionó!
Buenísimo.
Toma, Gil.
Toma, Ronaldo.
Cristiano.
Toma, Messi.
Sumo ninja.
All right, now in order to get the bolts on the top of the drive shaft, we're gonna have to spin the tires in order to get the drive shaft itself to turn. All right. A ver. ¿Más? ¿Fui en la otra dirección?
Sí, sí,
Ok,
en la otra
ok.
dirección.
Ok,
Y la verdad que
pasamos.
está perfecto.
Bueno, salí,
¿Eh?
salí. Voy a bajarlo. Salí, salí.
¿Cómo que salga?
Que voy a bajar las llantas.
¿Qué llanta?
Vas a girar las llantas. Yo levanté el auto. ¡Salí!
No entiendo.
Te muestro, salí. Si vos agarras eso y girás, las llantas van a girar.
Oh, ¿en
ahora.
serio?
Tenemos que bajarla de vuelta.
Oh, y bajalos conmigo ahí abajo.
No,
Hay un jack stand.
pero cuidado con ese jackstand, está trucho. En las rocas no debería estar.
Todos ya saben que me querés matar igual, así que... No pasa
Listo.
nada. No pasa nada. Estoy acostumbrado. Bueno, la tuerca, ¿las otras dónde las dejaste?
No sé.
¿Cómo que no sabes?
No,
cargando.
ni idea.
Me estás cargando.
No.
Acá hay una y acá hay otra.
Ok.
Pero falta una.
Bueno, después buscamos cerca de eso.
Después nada.
Bueno, ¿y ahora?
¿Qué?
Por eso. Alright, we got that out.
El otro quería otra llave y no era necesario. Mirá.
Yeah, thought we needed a...
Bueno, me imagino que te haría la vida más fácil.
Got an assistant.
Para eso son las herramientas, ¿no?
All right, now that we spent well over 4 hours getting that fuel tank ready to pull, Che got one last little surprise.
Ahí. Vamos a cortar.
Black Widow?
Sí, ¿la viste?
Sí.
¡Ah, qué asco!
Pero está muerto.
Y es muy importante. ¿Crees que se llamaba?
Sí.
Por el otro lado. Me desarmaste el auto, vos.
Sí.
Dame que te sostengo. ¿Qué querés que haga? La linterna. Tal vez, ¿no?
Bien viejo.
¿Qué?
Bien viejo el caño. Está pegado. Let me break it for you.
¿Qué?
Oh, está moviendo.
No, mirá, ya salió casi.
Ahí sí. Está. ¿Sí? Guantes.
Déjame pasar la punta.
Uno más.
Este, que no sé
¿Cómo
qué-
está conectado?
Este está. Ah, ya, mirá.
¿Sale?
O sea,
Bien.
hay que acordarse
¿Salió?
que vaya nomás. Sí,
¿Qué? ¿Para qué?
ya está.
Oh, yeah. What a job. Podrido.
Está re podrido.
Sí. La luz. Oh. Oh, cuidado. Tus zapatos. All right, so here's a look at the tank. The first time I got it back to my place and rinsed out a couple of times. Water didn't really do much, and I don't want to buy a bunch of vinegar, so I'm just gonna get some chemicals. All right, just got back from the parts store. I picked up one of these, but I'm thinking maybe I should have got two because this says it's good for like 10 or 15 gallons. And so I was just wondering maybe two might have been better. I'm gonna put this in there with some water and I'll shake it around every hour or so for 24 hours. Okay, next day, I shook this about 10 times, maybe 15 times over the course of 24 hours. And it looks a little cleaner, but yeah, we're definitely not gonna be able to use this. So I'm gonna try something else, maybe put some more cleaner in it with some bolts and hook that up to a tire or something and spin it around for a long time and see if maybe that helps. So I'll check back in when I hook something like that up. All right, so here's what I've got set up. I've got the same chemical in there with a bunch of nuts and bolts. So I've just hooked this up to my truck tire. It barely clears the ground, and we'll see if this works. I'm just trying to spin it around for a little bit. All right, I've got it all sealed off so it doesn't spill out. And that's what I remembered. I never welded the diff in my truck. All right, so we've basically just stacked up a bunch of bricks and some large plastic tarp, and it made a pretty good tank. It's leaking a little, but we'll keep it topped off. We've got salt in there and some sacrificial metal. Hopefully this will work, but we'll see.
El metal, mira.
Oh, sí, está saliendo burbujas.
Y acá también.
Oh, yeah. Well, after the electrolysis, that tank ended up having a hole rusted all the way through it. We ran into a bit of issues trying to install the fuel pump the first time. All right, so attempt number one, we can't get the fuel pump into the tank because it's a little too wide, so this is a major problem. I'll check back when we figure out what to do.
En realidad, haciéndolo así, entra. Ahora el problema es que ni se nos entra, pero ni un pedo.
Well, as you could see that last time, we got the fuel pump to enter in just a little bit, but that return tube was definitely in the way. So I actually had to cut that up higher and re-weld a bracket onto that. That way we could ground the fuel pump onto the frame itself.
Está cayendo.
See. All right, here comes the gas. Oh, there's the gas. Ahí está. Get all that old gas out of the lines.
O sea que la bomba está funcionando.
Sí. Ooh, hit my head. All right, so we just got clean gas running all the way through up to here. Fuel pump's working. I heard a spark, so I'm thinking that we probably got some bad wires. But that might be a good sign that we've actually got spark. So fingers crossed hard that this works. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this jump box. Okay, amigo, dale. Está muy smooth el motor.
¿Qué?
Está muy smooth, a lo menos. Sí. Dale una vez más. Okay, para. All right, so this is pretty much what I was thinking was gonna happen. I figured the injectors were probably clogged. That gas has been sitting there for decades. Everything else was all gummed up, so I read online that, well, we read that you can get the injectors out without taking the manifold off if you just remove the valve cover. My buddy's gonna grab another piece of plastic there to cover that side. It looks pretty clean though, it looks good. I'll show you better when I'm putting everything back together. I'm about to get these injectors out. I just took the bolts that hold them in out. So those will slide out here in just a second, and we're just gonna test them out into the air to see if they're firing. New injectors are like 40 bucks a piece. So we're already just considering getting 6 new injectors, but I think we're gonna try and clean these old ones up first. We're pretty sure that's the issue because now we're getting a little bit of fuel, just not enough. Well, those old injectors were toasted, and we actually found some rebuilt ones on eBay that my buddy just wanted to go ahead and buy. Way less than 40 bucks a piece. So 1 week later, I came over and threw those in about 30 minutes. Everything's ready to go, and here's me sitting behind the wheel with those new injectors installed. Okay. See. All right, you got to hear this thing turn on. It sounds beautiful. So good. Okay, new oil for start. Sí, un poquito. Después que se apague la luz. Se apagó inmediatamente. Dale un poquito. Ahora ponelo en cambio.
Vamos.
Dale. Estás en cambio.
Freno de mano.
Vamos, sí. Totalmente, déjalo. Sí, ahí mueve. Mueve en el otro lado. Y van atrás. La reversa funciona. Y cada cambio. Sí. Y segunda, tercera. Ok.
La primera.
Ok. Está girando en el otro lado nomás, porque el DEF estaba abierto. Prueba la segunda, la tercera, la cuarta. La cuarta.
Segunda.
Ok.
Tercera.
Cuarta.
Cuarta.
Ok, quinta. La sexta. Oh, ok. ¿Por qué la reversa está por allá? Porque la reversa está por allá.
Está por acá.
If you like this video, make sure you're subscribed to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. This was a super satisfying job that was a few months in the making, able to get Che his car running. Not only is this a super awesome car, but I couldn't have spent my time helping a more deserving person. If you want to see more videos like this, you can donate at the links in the description and check out this video next. That's a job well done.